don't know what it is you need to do. I don't know what it is you're craving to do. But if you're going to take that hour out of your week, out of your day, make sure you do it to invest in yourself only. Don't worry about no one else. Don't worry about anything else. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. If you have had a bad day, I have also had a very bad day. It's just, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about how much of a bad day. I don't want to talk about how much of a bad day I've had. I can't. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video because I just cut the cameras. Dead ass cut the cameras. I don't want it. And we're back and scene. I'm sorry, that was very insensitive. No, I'm joking. I'm not even joking. You know I'm not joking when the teacup comes out. It's just been all over the place today. But we're not here to talk about, I mean, we are here to talk about me, but we're not here to talk about my bad day. But if you had a bad day, I've also had a bad day. We're having a bad day together, but now we can have a good moment. You know, always look for good moments in your bad days, or just look for good moments anyway. Like when you look at me, when you appreciate me. If you've had a bad day, I hope tomorrow is better, and I hope maybe you find a good moment in the day. You know, just look for those little things and they kind of make you smile or whatever. I look at myself in the mirror. Welcome back to my video. I'm trying not to ramble too much because we're on a time crunch. Time is money. I ain't got no money, and therefore we have to hurry up and film. In the last video, you can go check it out. I'll leave the card somewhere on the screen somewhere. It'll definitely be in the description below because me and this technology, we get along some days and some days we just don't. Today I am drinking a succulent cup of water. It's water today. Last time it was juice, today is water. Last video we talked about, well, I talked about how fear kind of limits our potential, how being scared of doing something or just putting it off kind of wait, why am I summarizing it? Go listen. If you're gonna watch this, go watch the video linked in the description and then come back here because I'm not summarizing, and it's not because I forgot what I said. I talked about how our fear of failure or fear of starting something new or fear of just doing something can kind of hold us back from our potential and kind of limits what we can do as individuals and as people. And today we're talking about starting something new. So we talked about how having fears can stop us from doing something new or stop us from doing what we want. Now we're talking about how I'm sorry, if you don't gas yourself up like this, you're doing something wrong, okay? Yes, but today we're talking about how starting something new isn't always easy. You know, I've talked about fear, but how about starting something new? Ooh, get your cup. Listen, if you're gonna watch my videos, get yourself a mug, get yourself a Capri Sun, get yourself some tea and some toast. You know, it's cat talks time. It's cat talks. Why did I pretend that was hot? Why did I pretend that was hot? It wasn't even hot. It's literally bottled water, and I put it in this cup to try and look bougie. We're fake on the internet. We're fake. Getting out of our comfort zone, for a lot of us, sometimes we're stuck in our little bubble, our little comfort zone, and we won't try anything new because A, we haven't experienced them, we haven't learnt them, we haven't really been guided on it. So trying something new is scary. But we're not going to be intimidated by trying something new. No. I have no idea about editing. I have no knowledge about editing. I have no knowledge about lighting. I have no knowledge about music and audio. Yet here I am on Rihanna's internet, on Beyonce's server, putting videos up on the internet. It's just you have to finesse the game. And how did I do that? I watched other people. I did my research. I'm not good. I'm not great. There's things to learn, but I'm doing it. What are you doing? Actually, I'm not doing a lot either, so I don't even know why I'm sitting here hating. I'm not doing a lot. I'm not doing a lot. I'm not doing a lot. Something new for a lot of us is kind of doing stuff outside of our responsibilities, whether you're in university or you have your job or your career or your family or your marriage, whatever is under your bracket of responsibilities. Trying something new doesn't fit there. You know, we won't try nothing new because it doesn't really fit into our lifestyle. I, for one, have a lot of things that I kind of want to do, but I don't want to do it because I have no knowledge on it. I don't know how it's gonna go. I don't know the success rate. I have nothing on. I like this YouTube channel, for example. I'm gonna keep referring to my YouTube channel because this will evidently be growth of trying something new. So if you want to see evidence, this will be the evidence, and the longer I stick to it, the more I'll have. But I think it's important that we continue to try something new. When we're babies, when we're small, when we just get birthed into this little crazy hectic world, the first thing we do is interact with the world before we even start to talk or before we even start to sing and dance and shout and realize that we have emotions that are confusing and sometimes they make us feel really sad and we don't know what to do about it, but we just have to get on with life. I'm sorry that went to a really dark place there. Things were just so much easier. We interact with the world before we do anything society says. You know, before we had school, nursery, we were playing out in the dirt and making, I don't know what we were making, but they probably weren't the most hygienic or sensible things to be making, but I'm sure you guys remember making like mud pies and grass perfume from dirty puddle water and making daisy chains and playing in the grass and collecting bugs or running away from bugs. I know some of you who are scared of bugs, but you know, before we entered society as individuals, we were children and we were experimental and we wanted to do everything underneath the sun, even if we didn't understand it. So why can't we take that concept, why can't we take that experience and put it into our adult lives or our grown lives for those who are teenagers or whatever? Why don't we take the concept of a child's imagination and bring it into our everyday lives? Because I've forgotten what it's like to be a child, and sometimes being a child gets you so many places. And I didn't mean being childish, I meant having that freedom but not being childish. Oh, I'm my own enemy of progress. Not being childish, but taking that freedom of thought and that freedom of just doing things and not thinking about it, not worrying about bills, not worrying about grades, not worrying about what we're gonna eat. Though those are things that take over the majority of our brain space and our emotional state. But taking the innocence of a child's imagination and putting it into our own lives will get us further in life than we've ever hope to imagine as adults. I think that's what we forget. Like if you look at a lot of creative people, especially celebrities out there, I'll just use celebrities or famous people or famous figures, a lot of the creative people out there still have their childlike imaginations. They're not scared to, I mean obviously they have marriages and stuff, but just for argument's sake, they're not scared to experiment with new types of music or their feelings or their fashion. You know, they're able to take that concept of freedom time and apply it out there. Now, however, when we become so attached to being an adult and having everything together and just getting stuff done and having this competition between our peers to do stuff, we forget what it's like to just be free thinkers. And how are we going to start something new if we're not able to think freely? Our new generation, right? I think we're at a turning point where we're kind of aware that after school and after the best years of our lives and after university, even before university, we're going to be working for the rest of our lives until retirement. Some people have an early retirement, some people will have a late retirement, some people won't even make it to retirement. But I think as a generation, we've realized that we're young, then we're not, then we're in school, then we're working for the rest of our lives. And I think that scares a lot of people. I mean, it definitely scares me. I'm 20 now, so the time I retire is probably, I don't even know, but imagine spending 20 years plus doing something that you hate. And if you're at that stage now where you're in a situation that you completely hate, I have nothing to say to that. But to those that I can help now who are kind of worried about the future, worried about how things are gonna go, me as a professional warrior, someone who has receded her hairline, I didn't pluck this, it receded. Someone who's a professional warrior, I used to worry about every single detail. I used to worry about what's gonna happen in the next 5 seconds. Okay, not that exaggerate, but just to exaggerate the point. Especially with social media now, or you know, these big YouTube platforms, or just anywhere where it can be accessed. We see people, especially our age, living lavish lifestyles, and they have their fancy cars, or they're traveling so many places, and then you're just at home in your room with your Wi-Fi bugging out. And that is from personal experience. It is, you know. And then when you see other people, especially your peers or people around your age, or people are, you know, coming from the same area as your community as you, being quote unquote objectively successful, like they have money, they're traveling, they have cars, you kind of start to compare yourself a little bit. You're like, oh, then what am I doing with my life? And it's completely fine, I think, to compare yourself to other people you want to look up to, but it shouldn't be something where you're criticizing yourself. A comparison shouldn't be a criticism. It should just be, I won't say pointing out the facts, because facts have to be constant and your life could change any second. I don't think it's such a bad thing to compare yourself if you want to grow as a person. If, for example, you see someone who's at the level you're at, work your way to get to where they are. Work your way to get to their status, not their lifestyle. Work your way to get to your own success. And if you can find inspiration in other people, then I say find inspiration. So sometimes you need to compare yourself in order to find inspiration. And again, I'll repeat that because I know some people are a little bit like, oh, you know, finding inspiration is different from being jealous or zealous or wanting what other people want. Finding inspiration is to benefit you from someone, okay? I think a lot of like the millennials or people realizing that they're in a career that they don't enjoy, or they're in a position that they don't enjoy, it's because, I don't want to blame it on society, because a lot of factors influence the way we look on life, right? A lot of factors influence the way we look on life. We're told to go to school, we're told to, you know, study these subjects, we're told these grades offer this, and we're not really like encouraged to be creative. And if you are creative, it's kind of like, oh, are you sure? Are you sure that's what you want to do? Whenever you find someone that's kind of certain of what they want to do based on who they are, based on their individuality, you're like, are you sure? Are you sure? Like, you want to be a diver for the rest of your life? Are you sure? But then when it comes to the Olympics, oh my gosh. Or are you sure you want to be an artist for the rest of your life? But then you're viewing people's art in museums. Are you sure you want to be a musician? Yet you're listening to music every day. You really can't judge other people's life. Like, I think if people were encouraged from a young age to just do what they're good at, to do what they're talented and gifted in, I think a lot more people would be happier in their stage of life. I think that's true. Like some people now don't even know what their hobby is, or don't even know what they like doing in their spare time. They go to work, they do a 9 to 5, They come home, they probably sleep because they're too tired. Then they work for 5 days. On the weekend, maybe catching up on some stuff, or meeting friends who are also too busy, or they have families. It's just society has molded us to just be attached to our responsibilities. And that's not to say drop your responsibilities. No. I'm just saying that society has made us put responsibilities before our needs. Like we're so like focused on competing and beating other people. We're so focused on just not being happy. Like, and if you're one of those people who your goal is to be the happiest you can be in life, then I salute you and I say keep trying, because it's gonna be hard at first. It's gonna be hard to convince people that what you're doing is making your life worthwhile. Sometimes we're focused on our own responsibilities that we forget that we should be a priority too. Like, I'm into art and stuff, but I always say, oh, I don't have any time because I have uni and I have this and that. And I'm just like, if I took half an hour out of my day to sketch something or to paint something, if I took an hour out of my week to prioritize myself, I'm sure I'll develop more skills. I'm sure I'll feel a bit more content about life. I'm sure doing something that I enjoy will make every week a little bit better. But we're so focused on our responsibilities because they're responsibilities. Everyone has responsibilities, but you yourself are your own responsibility as well. Like, you have to be able to look after yourself. You have to be able to invest in yourself. You're invested in your job, you're invested in your family, you're invested in your friends, you're invested in your social life, but are you invested in you? Like, are you taking time out of your day? Like, are you taking time out of your day to invest in yourself? Are you really? Like, are you making sure you're your number one supporter? Are you focused on you? Are you taking that time out to read that new book, that fiction or self-help book? Are you taking time out of your day or your week to learn a new skill? Like, your life can't be centered around your responsibilities. You have to take time out for yourself. You have to be your number one supporter. You have to treat yourself like your inner child. You have to let that inner child out of you. You have to want to experience things. You have to want to do things. You have to learn how to put yourself out there. You have to learn how to do new things, and you have to force yourself out of your comfort zone. Don't just sit there. Don't just sit there thinking, oh, it will come to me. No, it won't. It won't come to you. You want to be an entrepreneur, but you're not even looking at how to be one. You don't even know what you're gonna sell. You don't even know what your target audience is. Not that you have to know everything from the get-go, but I'm just saying, if you want something in life, you have to know what you want. And this is what this is about. How do you know what you want? And that's why it comes back to caring for your inner child. You have to spend time with yourself. You have to be goofy. You have to be nerdy and geeky about something. You have to find something to obsess over in a healthy. You have to find something to be a fan of in your life. Whether you like anime, or you like reading, or you like, horror movies, or you like makeup, or you like football, something. You have to find a skill in something that you love. Because why do you have to invest in something that you don't like? Or something that if you had the chance to drop it, you would drop it in 2 seconds. If someone said to me, right, you can draw ever again, I'd be like, what? Excuse me? If someone took your talent away from you, what more do you have? You have your responsibilities, right? If someone took your responsibilities away from you, what do you have? You have your talents and your gifts and whatever else you're good at. And I know in the climate that we're living in, being good at something isn't enough to get you where you want to be in life. Sometimes you have to do the uncomfortable jobs. Sometimes you have to do the jobs that you never dreamed of doing. Sometimes you can't even live your dream because it seems so far-fetched or it seems so hard. I'm not telling you to drop everything and go chase after what your inner child wants. I'm telling you to prioritize your feelings and take pieces of your inner child and invest them in your life right now. That's what we have to do. We have to get out of our adult comfort zone and get back into our adventurous child self. And if you weren't adventurous as a child, now is the time to start. And as I said before, I know these times are uncertain, but that's what makes it even more worthwhile. That's what's going to give you the kick up the bum. Nothing right now is certain, so if you're going to do something, you might as well enjoy what you're doing. Even if you have to keep your job, keep your job. I'm not telling you to quit. I'm not telling you to quit and become a scuba diver or become a gamer, but find time around your responsibilities, find time around everything else, and prioritize what's going to be good and healthy for you. Find time to prioritize your individuality, because if you don't do it, you're gonna lose yourself in this crazy world. You're gonna lose yourself. And I've been at that stage where I kind of didn't want to do any of my hobbies. I didn't want to create. I didn't want to write. I didn't want to paint. I didn't want to draw. I was just so focused on school. I was focused on other things. I was focused on things that didn't really bring me joy. You have to move them up on your priority list. Like don't leave yourself to last. I know it's gonna be tough to kind of sacrifice, you know, maybe you have to sacrifice a bit of sleep, maybe you have to sacrifice a bit of social time, but it's time to put yourself first. As I said, you have to be a bigger supporter. So if you want to make cakes and bake cakes on the side, do that. Even if you're only selling it to your neighbor or you're selling it to that one child, do it. If you want to make music on the side, do it. If you want to paint, do it. If you want to write a book, do it. If you want to, I don't know, grow a garden or build a house, do it. Find time to prioritize what's important to you, what's important to your individuality. Because if you don't prioritize what's important to your individuality, if you don't take out that inner child that's inside of you, if you don't interact with the world and environment that you're in right now, if you leave everything to just be about your responsibilities, you're gonna be miserable. And the more you start to prioritize your needs, the more you start to prioritize your individuality, you'll find that you're looking, okay, you had a tough day at work, but you get to go home and do that thing you enjoy. You've had a rough day with your family life, you know, if you're parents or whatever, but you can find those 15 minutes, those half an hour to do something that you really enjoy. Don't lose yourself to this crazy world. You really can't. And if you're not sure where to start, if you're not sure what your individuality is, if you're not sure where you kind of fit into your own life, if you're not sure where your individuality stands, I think it's time you spend more time with yourself. Experiment with things. Try something new. That's all I can urge you to say. Try something new. There's plenty of people on the internet, especially TikTok. Like, I've seen talents on TikTok that I didn't even think were a thing. Like, I've seen so many things on TikTok that I didn't think were a thing. Or on YouTube, there's so many creative people. There's so many people that have such interesting lives. And that's not to say you need to sit here and be like, oh wow, her life is really interesting, I can't do that. Yeah, because you're not her. But you can get inspiration from a lot of people out there in the world if you open your eyes, if you allow yourself to interact with the world. Stop comparing yourself to what you don't have and try finding inspiration to what you could have. And please don't take this out of pocket and be toxic to yourself. We're not trying to damage anyone here. We're trying to evolve and grow. Okay? It's all about growth. Allow yourself to try new things. Allow yourself to be adventurous. Allow yourself to be imaginative. Find inspiration from others. You don't have to be jealous. You don't have to, you know, be zealous or take your life, where you're at in life, for granted. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to remain grateful for what we have. But I'm just saying, it's time to try something new. If you're unhappy with the situation in your life and you know you can't change it, okay, we can't change it, but we can also try something new. It doesn't mean stopping what you have completely. It doesn't mean leaving everything in the dust. It just means adding on to a little piece of our life that brings us joy. Adding on to a little piece of our life that, you know, make us excited. You have to find some sort of excitement in your life, otherwise every day is just going to be the same routine. And yeah, a lot of us can't change our lives. A lot of us can't change, you know, factors of our lives. A lot of us can't change our routine by getting rid of it, but we can also add to our routine. We can add and invest into ourselves. And that's what we need to do. You never know, you might just develop a skill that you can sell one day, or improve your CV, or improve what field of work you work in, or improve your home life. If you invest in your individuality, other people are going to be so excited to be around you. If people started being more true to their individual selves and just authentic in who they are and authentic in what they do, you're going to find that every day becomes a little bit easier to live. Every day becomes a little bit easier to survive. Every week, and then every month, and then every year. You can't get lost into your responsibilities. That means your relationship, your family life, your school life, your career, your work, your bills, your whatever it is, whatever your responsibility is hanging on your shoulder. My advice to you is try not to let it dictate your life, because there's more to life than the responsibilities hanging on your shoulders. Find time, and don't tell me you don't have time, because there's 24 hours in a day. I don't even know how many hours are in a week. 24 times 7, 8, 2, 14, 168 hours in a week. Let me just Google that. There's 168 hours in a week. Just find one. I don't know what it is you need to do. I don't know what it is you're craving to do. But if you're gonna take that hour out of your week, out of your day, make sure you do it to invest in yourself only. Don't worry about no one else. Don't worry about anything else. Just take 1 hour, half an hour, I don't know what it is. Take time, whatever time is important, whatever amount of time you deem necessary to do this thing. Take time out of your day, out of your routine, out of your responsibilities to do. There's no harm in doing something new, because hey, if it doesn't work out, try something new. If that doesn't work out, try something new. If that same thing doesn't work out, try something new. You have to keep experimenting. You have to keep trying. Don't just sit there and say, I can't do this. If you can't do this, find something else that you can do. I think the more you try to invest in your individuality, invest in your needs, you'll start to see that you're a little bit more yourself. You're a little bit happier. You're a little bit more excited about your day or your week. Schedule it in. Put a little reminder on your phone. And sometimes I don't do that. Sometimes I'm just, at the end of the day, I'm tired. I get it. You know, sometimes sleep is really more important. But so is finding things that make us us. You know, sometimes you just have to sacrifice a little bit for your greater good, because I'm sure you'll feel good about yourself when you try. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like, share and subscribe to my channel. I hope you guys have a good day. Thank you all for those who messaged me telling me that they enjoyed the last video. I hope I can keep up to that. Actually, I will keep up to that standard, but I'm hoping to keep up to this standard. I'm hoping to keep inspiring you and motivating myself, because I know what it's like. You know, it's not easy being motivated. It really isn't. But I'm not trying to tell you that you should be motivated. I'm trying to encourage you to just do things, right? You don't have to be motivated all the time. You don't have to be grinding and, you know, all the time. You don't have to hustle all the time. But if you're gonna do it good. And if you don't know what it is, you can go ahead on my blog and check out, I'll leave it down below, just more inspiration from this, because obviously I can't say everything in one video, otherwise we'll be here for days, because of the rate that I talk. The rate that I talk is actually I'm quite introverted, so that's kind of fake, but nothing's going right today. I don't know who I've annoyed. I need to be careful before I drag this off my head. For a lot of my words. The way my brain doesn't sync with my mouth. This is why I'm a writer. Go check my blog out. I would have had a piece on this already. If not, it's coming up. So go sign up to the email list and you'll get your little notification. Did I just plug myself? Did I just promote myself? Yes, I did, and I'll do it again. Follow my Instagram and like and subscribe. Just know that before this, I was at the brink of tears, but I couldn't, because I couldn't ruin my makeup. But I was on the brink of tears because it was just going really wrong. But you know what? I dusted myself off when I tried again. So yeah. Why are you still here? I was trying to be nice. Why are you still here? Go. Don't you have that new thing I just told you to do to be doing? Why are you on the internet? Why are you still here?